You North Shore boys are a different breed.
Yeah, there's definitely something wrong with us, for sure. Definitely. You got to have something wrong with you.
So, well, we jumped the gun, but this is Kyle Foyle, North Shore Lifeguard,
Yes.
Jiu-Jitsu black belt.
Yes.
Shout outs to Alliance and Peel.
Yeah.
Rexy guys.
Rexy, man, yeah.
A&P. Shout out to A&P. You fight MMA sometimes?
I did.
Right?
I just kind of do it for fun now, which doesn't make sense. Like I get my
It's
butt
fun,
kicked
yeah.
for free now in the gym, but
Yeah.
it's fun. I used to fight. Yeah, back in the day, it was a good time, man.
Yeah.
It was definitely the thing you wouldn't expect if you knew me in my teens and early 20s, teens.
What do you mean? Why? Because you were like shy, timid
Super
guy?
shy. I wanted to be friends with everybody. There wasn't you see kids, it's like, oh, that kid likes to scrap. Well, like, bang.
Especially in Hawaii.
Especially in Hawaii.
Out. At a teenage to 20s, like those guys stand out.
Yeah, so
They're
like
intimidating.
my dad tried to get me in Taekwondo when I was 11. I hated it. Just wanted to surf. I was just never, I got sucker punched a couple times. I'm a white kid growing in Hawaii. Just at a party, all of a sudden got cracked, and I never wanted to fight back. It was like, oh, okay, are we cool now? Like, okay, that guy's whatever, and then. Yeah, like I said, I always say you can ask anybody I went to high school with, and they would be like, God, the guy with an afro that just was skinny and wanted to surf. Like,
you had a surfer
I had a
afro?
Robin Machado afro that was beautiful. It was gorgeous. Yeah, I mean, Robin Machado was my idol growing up, right?
Yeah.
So it was like my hair would just get this curly, big, poofy thing. So that's what I looked like. So I least intimidating person in the world.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden so you never know. You never know what you're going to turn into. Like. And that's the beauty of martial arts. You can, you've done it. It's like either you're going to love it, it's the best thing you're ever going to do in your life, or, it's fun. Maybe I'll get my blue belt, and I kind of fade off. And it's like I got into it. All of a sudden, it was like everything to me.
Did you have, when you started training, what brought you to it? Like, did you have, like, insecurities? So you're like, I got to learn how to fight? Or was it just a curious thing? Because there's, like I talked to Joel Tudor.
Yeah.
And I was like, how'd you get into this? Because when I had the company, the 50, he was like, yeah, it sounds super cool. Hawaii, California, let me rep it.
Right.
And then he was like, he told me, he's like, I was tired of getting my ass kicked on the North Shore.
There was like a story where like Danny Fuller put him in a rear naked show.
Yeah, he said some guy had him in a rear naked and he was just slapping him. He's like, whatever.
So he got punched. Mine was never that. Mine was kind of, I was 20, I think. So I started late, you know what I mean? And it was more, I was kind of had a change of point in life where like I would, surf. I didn't have a girlfriend, lived by myself at Sunset Point, and I just worked lifeguarding, I worked 7 days a week. I worked at Patagonia, and then I worked lifeguarding, and then whatever little money I made from surfing didn't really do anything. But I'd get home at night and sit there and I just catch myself drinking beers.
Yeah.
Not really doing anything. So I was like, man. And I had a coworker that was like, hey, you got to try jiu-jitsu for like a year.
Yeah.
You got to try jiu-jitsu. Gay.
Roll
Literally said it.
sweating.
It's gay, man. I ain't gonna roll no guy. It's gay, just totally ignorance.
Yeah.
And finally, I think it was after my birthday. It was like 5 days after my birthday. He was like, you know what? I'll do it. My dad gave me a karate gi. I think everybody that ever starts jiu-jitsu always has a karate gi, right? You just have it. And I went in there and I literally, to the old rec center right across from Foodland, Pupukea. Shout out to that place. Like that was like the OG. Everybody trains around the North Shore.
Yeah.
And I went in there.
Kid Peligro?
No, that was Marcelo, Kyborg, JD. That was that whole crew. But everybody on North Shore, Ezra, everybody was there.
Yeah.
It was one big, dirty little, recreational building that we put the mats down.
Right.
And went there, scared, just holding on for dear life. And I remember going home and calling my mom and be like, I found my calling. Like I fell like madly in love with it. Like blinders on, fell in love with it. And I was like, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. I literally, from that point, I think it was June 27th. My birthday was June 22nd in 2006 or 7. And that day forward, it was like twice a day that I could train.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't go on dates sometimes just because I wanted to train. I got to train tonight.
I know the feeling.
Just like tunnel vision, you know what I mean? And it was everything to me. And I was actually going to 2 places. I would go to that rec center and then this gym up in Wahiawa opened Central Oahu. So I would literally go, because the rec center was only Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. And I was like, well, what am I going to do Tuesday, Thursday? I got to do something. And I would literally pay those both gyms, go there every day, twice a day.
Ryan? Was there a Ryan on it then?
That was Haru's gym. Remember Haru, old striking coach guy?
No, I don't.
Haru opened that place.
Yeah.
And so I think Marcelo, Steelhagen, I think was his last name. He's not here anymore. Old school Gracie Baja black belt, small guy.
Okay.
He was teaching both spots.
Okay.
So I just paid him twice. I was like, I don't care. I just want to go.
Yeah.
And I went from there, and then it was just like, you know, like I said, my dad was a Taekwondo guy, so he always gave me, you gotta learn striking. Yeah, you gotta learn striking. And then it just.
Like, have you seen UFC 1?
Yeah, you did. But like, you know, okay, I'll take. So I started taking Haru's class, started doing Muay Thai, and then it just snowballed. And then all of a sudden one day I'm in the middle of Blaisdell, across from Ray Cooper, going, wait, how did I get here? Like, this is no way I should be here. No way. And it was, escalated quickly. But it's the best decision. Walking into that old rec center on that day, the 27th of whatever year, June, was the best decision ever in my life.
Why is that? Why? What did Jiu-Jitsu do for you?
It gave me everything. It gave me a confidence that I never had.
Well, you surf big waves. I'm being an antagonist. Like, you already surf big waves.
No. I think and I'm a big component. I think every young male, especially females too, should train. Doesn't matter if it's boxing, Muay Thai, Sambo, Judo, whatever, because it only makes you a better person.
Yeah.
There are those few guys, and we know them, that get them and they turn to Cobra Kai. You know, Bao your sensei.
So rare, though.
Very rare.
Yeah.
Mostly the people that get hooked. Because you don't have to fight. I mean, you grew up in Hawaii just like me. Usually the guys that are at the parties, start squaring off, don't know anything.
Yeah.
They want to be the UFC guys, but they don't. But they're usually the ones that know what they're doing. Like the nicest guys, the most assassin guys I know are the nicest guys in the room.
They're calm because the gym has done that for them.
They're confident.
Yeah.
So I'm the same way. Where before you call me a Holly, okay, you know, I start eyes closed, start swinging, get my butt kicked. You know what I mean? Where like I had to prove something.
Yeah.
Or I would just get called Holly and walk away. You know what I mean? So that was the main thing. It made me where I haven't. And I tell these people all the time. I have not gotten in a fight unless I signed on the paper. Like I signed a contract to go fight somebody.
Since you did jiu-jitsu?
Since I did jiu-jitsu. Day I started jiu-jitsu. I think like a year before I started jiu-jitsu, I got in a fight at Mokalia at a party because, you know, some guy squared off of me and I, you know, woke up the next day with a fat eye and a busted tooth.
Yeah.
But after that, because it's like you start punking me, unless you're threatening my wife or my family, or I see somebody getting, you know, whatever, worst case scenario, somebody getting raped or whatever.
Yeah. There's no need.
Okay, yeah. Because I know I could destroy you. Or at least I know I could hold my own. You know.
Yeah, it's like if a 5-year-old called you a name right now, you're not going to be offended, right?
No.
If a 10-year-old, a 20-year-old, like at what point do you give them the control to offend you? If they're 30, then they can offend you. And when you've done jiu-jitsu, or something, you're just an elder, right? Because you're just like you can't offend me.
Well, it's like I
can kill you.
Yeah, like even like jiu-jitsu. I mean, I still think jiu-jitsu guys have a false sense of security of street fights because you know all those blue belts. They think they're like assassins. I'm like, dude, you can't bolo on somebody when they're cracking you in the face. You know what I mean? So I think my philosophy is every blue belt should do at least a couple MMA classes.
Yeah.
Because it's a different jiu-jitsu.
Get a low kick to the calf one time or to the thigh.
Yeah, a leg kick or like try to take somebody down or you're on the bottom. Okay, play open guard when somebody's, you know,
raining
hammers on you. That's a D1 wrestler. Yeah. Good luck with that. You know what I mean? Just so you don't have that false insecurity. Because I've seen that blue belt. Okay. That's a little... Oh, yeah, I got this superpower. I'm going to go mess somebody up. And it's like, yeah, you're doing it on that concrete. Yeah. And somebody's going to, you know, throw a punch at you. You don't know what to do. So it's going back to it, it gave me a confidence to where I can walk around proud of myself. I'm not cocky, and I think, and my wife trains, she's a purple belt underneath me. Oh, yeah? That's how we met. So that was my second reason why I love martial arts, is I actually met my wife in the gym.
That's cool.
Dude, I met my wife there, you know what I mean? So it's like, she lived in New York, and she was the only person of all her friends that didn't get mugged or robbed. Because she walks around, and I think you have that. You know, you just have that. I'm not the one. Yeah. I'm not the one. If you mess with me, we're probably both going to the hospital, but you're definitely going to the hospital. Yeah. Where like all her friends kind of had, you know, it's that body posture where she kind of walked around with this. She can hold her own. So I think, you know, it saves a lot of people in the sense of like most people that are bullies are going to attack you. They're looking for easy prey. Right. Nobody wakes up in the morning going, okay, I'm going to rob Martin Day right now. That'd be a good idea. You know what I mean? Like, or, you know, Conor McGregor, I'm going to rob that guy. It's like, I don't think that's a good idea. You're looking for the weak person. Right. So I think jiu-jitsu just and martial arts, whether it's boxing or something, just will make a better young male, a better young female because
I think so.
because they're not going to try to punk somebody. When you're secure and you're confident in yourself, I'm stoked that you won that thing, or you're loving your life and you love, because I'm confident in myself.
Right.
So I think that needs to be instilled in more young people.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I'm proof. I'm literally that skinny young white kid who grew up in Hawaii in the 80s, in the 90s, a little different nowadays.
Yeah.
That was punked, and now it's like, I'm not a bully or anything like that, but I'm the happiest guy because I know I can handle myself, protect my family.
Yeah.
And I don't have to prove anything to you.
Isn't that? Yeah. There's a peace that comes with that. Like,
Super
I don't have to
peace.
prove. How old were you when you started training?
Old. I was like 20.
20.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like nowadays where you can go to UFC gym and there's 5-year-olds that are like,
Yeah.
it's just different.
If you were training back then, so that's like, if you were 20, that's like 2003, 4 or something.
2006? Yeah, something like that. 5? Well, something like that. I'm old. I see now.
Back then in Hawaii, like when I was in high school, I graduated in 2002. If you did like MMA and jiu-jitsu, you're like a thug, you go to the Super Brawl.
Or
like those things, and they would have riots, right? Guys this fight camp would fight this, and so I thought I was just too intimidated to even start training. But I went to Campbell, where it's
I grew up in Hilo. Come on, BJ Penn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's rough.
It's rough. Everybody like bang. You know what I mean? And it's like it wasn't what it nowadays where it's everybody's good at everything. It's crazy. Back then, it really was UFC 1 where you're the boxer, that's the Taekwondo guy, I'm the Jiu-Jitsu guy.
Yeah.
Let's see how it goes down. You know what I mean? And you had to go to different gyms too.
Yeah.
That's why I give credit to like the Nikos and all the old school UFC, Super Ball guys.
Yeah.
Because there was no UFC gyms. There was no Hawaii Elite. There was no.
Well, there's like 808 Fight Factory.
Yeah, but there was like.
Matt Tiger something in Pro State? It was like a kickboxing with
Matt Tiger.
Matt Tiger had a jiu-jitsu guy would come.
Well, that was where I started my Muay Thai. Or no, that's why the second gym I joined Matt Tiger because there was this guy, Dan, over there. And we had a little team over there for Muay Thai. I mean, that's when we started doing Muay Thai fights and stuff. That was like a little brief period in Hawaii where there was Muay Thai fights.
Right.
Yeah. But there wasn't like
high schools or something.
Yeah, but it's not like today where like you can go to Elite and you're sitting on the mat with Lowen and Martin. And it's like, dude, I wish I had these guys. You know what I mean? Or like Harris or any of those killers that have just in Hawaii in one room.
Yeah.
Making each other better because you need those guys to go, okay, I need, the guy I'm fighting is a southpaw that's a boxer and a jiu-jitsu guy. Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. We'll get so-and-so over there.
But the guy, the 16-year-old or 21-year-old who had the audacity to walk into a place like that in like 98.
Oh, yeah.
Was like, it's a scary guy probably. It's not like just like the nerdy kid now who's like, surprisingly, or you wouldn't think he's a killer.
Yes. Yeah.
It was just it was a different crowd then,
No, it was the, the guys that had the neck tattoos, basically. Yes, if you want to sum it up in
Shout
that way.
Shout out to Desi, a scary guy like Desi. Desi's an amazing guy, but we were talking,
Oh, he's amazing. Love that guy.
Yeah, I started, so I went to Campbell, and I graduated, insecure with stuff because guys want to fight, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. Like scary guys, drug dealers, whatever. And then a police officer invited me to go box at the police academy in Waipahu.
Sick.
And this guy, Ron Richardson, he's a Hawaii legend. He was a pro boxer in the 70s. He's 60-something now. He moves around like a pro boxer. He's amazing.
Still got it.
Bro, I'll show you a video later.
Sick.
But so I boxed with him for like a year and a half. And I still didn't have that full confidence because I remember before I went to the Coast Guard, my wife's ex-boyfriend called me out and Dave and Buster's wanted to fight because I was with her and he was jealous or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, brah, let's go. Like I've been training.
Yeah.
He was like a state champ wrestler though. I would have got destroyed. I didn't know.
Yeah, you would have figured that all of a sudden.
On the concrete. And it's Dave and Buster's. It's crowded. It was on the top floor. It's crowded. Small space. There's no way I would have got anything. I would have been done.
Yeah.
And then I started, same like you, people invited me these guys from Guam invited me to do jiu-jitsu in California. And I would just take over the barbecue. I'd be like, nah, I'm not getting all sweaty.
Yeah.
There's no way. I came back to Hawaii and my brother-in-law guys they started at K Team in Kaneohe.
Okay.
They got shredded. They were competing. They were like, oh yeah, I went from Omo to Triangle back to Omo, and I was like, what? They're in shape. They're speaking another language. Like, I'm intrigued. So
Yeah.
I came back from the vacation. I went back to where I was living, and I tried jiu-jitsu. And same as you, I had this, like, the first time I did it, I was like, this is gonna take over my life.
Oh yeah.
Like, this is. And for me, I had that in surfing too. I don't know, because you grew up in Hawaii, so maybe you don't remember like that one moment where surfing took over your life.
It did. It was like 11. I was
Dude,
kind of I was a
there was a
boogie boarder
moment?
because remember boogie boarding was huge, like the Fred Boos and Chris Wan and all those.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was like, dude, I had my custom X boogie board. This was early 90s.
Kaino McGee.
Kaino, shout out to Kaino. Love that guy. Jesus.
He's a scary guy too.
Oh my God. Just the loudest guy in the room for sure.
Yeah. I just know that video where he there's like him and Mike Stewart were the only two that would go out at this big contest at Pipe.
Oh,
Like,
the
other
kid
guys
that
didn't
wouldn't
want to
leave.
paddle out.
Yeah.
Well, there was that too.
There's
where,
that
like,
video,
Kala
yeah.
guys, but
Yeah.
there's one where Mike Stewart and Kainoa, like, it's like an old from the 90s, like a 1995 contest or whatever, but no one would go out because Pipe was so big.
Right.
Other guys didn't want to go out, so it just became like a Kainoa and Mike Stewart thing.
No, Kaino's a legend. He's a lifeguard with us.
Is he?
He's been a long time. Yeah, I did junior guards with him in Ala Moana. That was an experience and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like a family member to me. I love that guy.
But so what, you were
that
11?
moment was like, I think, like 11 or 12.
So when you went from boogie boarding, bodyboarding,
Yeah,
to surfing,
another thing. Love my dad, It's just like, are you going to stand up one of these days? You're going to stand up? Fine, Dad. And then all of a sudden it was, it literally consumed my life.
it clicked.
Just like jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Like I said, my dream was North Shore.
Yeah.
I surfed Honolulu. That's my only home spot in Hilo. And like, I just looked at every surfing magazine, like cut it out, put it on my binder at school.
Yeah.
Knew everybody's sponsor, knew every wave. Oh, that was the sunset contest. I loved it.
Yeah.
It was insane. So yeah,
Surfing and jiu-jitsu are the two. So I was in California and I wasn't surfing because it was too cold. I live far from the beach.
Right.
I'm in the Coast Guard, whatever. And jiu-jitsu was that, for whatever reason, it somehow felt like surfing. And it's, like, you probably get it, but there was this thing where like Spider Guard felt like doing like a snap or something. I don't know. It just felt consuming. And that's why I made the business. Like, I made the t-shirt and gi brand and eventually sold it to your guys and whatever. But yeah, it took over my life. So the way that happened was I started jiu-jitsu. I was like, oh, this is going to take over my life. And I was super poor. So I wanted shirts. But
Sick.
I wasn't going to buy a $30 Shoyoro shirt because I couldn't afford that.
right.
Or like a $30 Fuck High shirt. And at the time, fighters were wearing like Affliction and stuff.
Oh my God, the bedazzle era.
Yeah, but that's bleach on the shirt and shit. And so I was like, I'll just make some of my own. If I can sell enough to break even, then I got shirts. And then I kind of did that and did that and did that again. So yeah.
No, I mean, it's actually, you got to love the jiu-jitsu market because it's, case in point, show you roll in A&P. It's like they sell out all the time. Like, jiu-jitsu has definitely a nerd following of like, we need that gi, we need that shirt. And it's like, you can't make it.
Bear created that though. He brought that street, like supreme streetwear thing into, like, I'm very impressed with him.
Oh, he's a genius.
Jiu-jitsu didn't have that. It was like the only other cool things was like you could go like buy like a Corral or a Tama shirt or something. But
that was like back in the day when like you saw somebody with like, remember Red Nose?
yeah,
Like a red nose gi, and it was like
Pitbull
red, and
or-
Pitbull, and it was like, I got that in Brazil. I had a friend bring it up, and you're like, oh my God, that's
like the
so
Carlson
cool.
Gracie logo with the two pit.
Yeah, like that
bulldogs
stuff
or
was
that
like,
kind of
oh
stuff.
my God, that was cool. That was cool. And then like RV and A&P and Bear and Shoyoroll like just blew it open even more to where it was more American, but like you said, that street culture.
Yeah.
And it was cool.
Yeah.
I hats off to them, like especially with that like A&P Nike drop just recently.
I didn't see it.
They-
AMP did a collab with Nike.
They had a shoe. They had an A&P that was made out of like jiu-jitsu material. Nike.
Really?
Yeah. Sold out in like, I think like 5 seconds.
Wow.
So that's pretty cool when like, that's why RV is the man at A&P. Like this, I don't even know how to explain it. Like he's so good, so smart. And the way he engineers it, like how would you do that with Nike? Nike made you a shoe.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Where I had the MMA guys that are not jiu-jitsu nerds talking about it. Like, oh, I went on to go buy it and it was gone. Like, oh, you really wanted to?
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
I like RV. RV, I don't want to go too into it, but there was this guy who was like infiltrating their crew, and I knew it.
Oh, that sucks.
I knew he was a Trojan horse kind of thing. But I didn't know them that well. So I go up and say, hey, you know your guy. I didn't want to do that. So I went up to him, we talked, and we kind of danced around that subject. Or RV kind of was like, what is he talking about?
Right.
And then he came to me the next year or 2 years later, and he's like, hey, bro, I want to invite you. We want to invite you down to LA to hang with us and whatever. And I'm like, he's like, I wish that we knew each other well enough for you to be straight up, because I knew what you're trying to get at, and it all happened. And yeah, so that's how that relationship formed.
Sick. There you go.
They're super cool guys. But hey, aloha, everyone. This is Derek Okahashi, host of Podcast Hawaii. Thank you for listening. I hope you're enjoying the show. I have 2 things to ask. Whether you're listening to this on a streaming platform or on YouTube, please go comment and follow and do all the things to gas us up and keep us going. And in that comment, let me know who you'd like for me to have a conversation with next. Is there an interesting university professor, someone who owns a business, a controversial person, a politician, whoever you want to see on this show? Please let me know in the comment section of whatever platform you're on. Also, I am a real estate agent and a real estate team leader. My small team, Core Team Hawaii, is one of the top real estate teams in all of Hawaii. So if you have anything in real estate, if you have any need at all in real estate, please think of Core Team Hawaii first. Go to coreteamhawaii.com. The link will be in the description of all of these shows moving forward. Book a call with me. Let's get you taken care of in real estate. Back to the show. Back to the jiu-jitsu thing. So you're sponsored by AMP.
AMP Ath. Shout out to Stu Cam.
Oh, yeah.
Local boy made it good, man.
Supplements, yeah.
Yeah, dude. Awesome stuff. And he was a big supporter of the Lifeguards, too, or North Shore Lifeguard Association.
I feel like I associate that brand with like the North Shore Lifeguard crew in a way. Maybe because of you. Maybe I don't know.
I definitely was like the first. We did a video back in the day, and then like just like the last year or two, they kind of came together and did a collab, and like to where like you buy the supplements, like the proceeds, like there's our logo. That's they even sold a towel that the proceeds went back to us. Yeah. So Stu's been awesome, big supporter. He helped me out with the junior guards. Like he's a brilliant like website designer kind of guy.
Oh yeah.
And so I was running junior guards the last couple of years, and I was like, help! I don't know how to do signups and all this stuff. And so yeah, ATH, and then big shout out to Iron Lion. So obviously, that guy is my brother. Like when I had a tragedy in my family, I was calling him, and he was like the ear to be and that you didn't have to. But we just connected on that level through jiu-jitsu.
Is that so? Who is? Well, I don't want to leave. You said you started working with Matus. Too,
yeah, Matus. Yeah, Matus has been a good company too, man. Awesome people.
Iron Lion. So we met because you came to an open mat.
Yes.
Like when I had the jiu-jitsu brand, this big open mat, you came and you're like, hey, I don't know how the soaps I think
I gave you for the giveaway.
For the giveaway,
giveaways, right? Yeah.
And then I kept some. You're like, here, these 4 are for you. And I remember being like, oh, these are the best soaps I ever. There was this like red one that had like pieces of strawberry in it or something. And I remember because that trip back to Hawaii, because I was living in California.
Yeah.
This thing happened with my wife's family, and so we ended up staying with our other friends. I specifically remember the shower I was in, that soap, and I was like, nobody used this soap. This is my soap. And I don't know. That soap was amazing.
Yeah, but, and it's good people too. Like
what is Iron Lion? Like what?
This basically father and son, Brian Rubin and Avi Rubin, like started it. Basically, Avi had this ringworm that would just not go away, ever. Like and then I think one of the doctors was like, you can treat that with like tea tree and eucalyptus. Sorry, I can't talk.
Yeah.
And so he kind of like started. It started. It was like that little seed that started him into healthy soaps. And what you put, your skin's your biggest organ, and all that stuff. And it just kind of flowed with their lifestyle. They're kind of, little hippie-ish. He's got these long dreads, amazing guy, but he's just such a, like, I'll text him at 6 o'clock here, and they're in California, and he'll be up cooking up some new, bar. And I've seen him go from, like, a little tiny one person, him running it, to where he has a full team. They're making deodorant. They're making lotions. They're making lip balms.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so, and it's all same theory where it's no chemicals.
Yeah.
Everything's good. Everything's tea tree. Everything's eucalyptus. But he's always coming up with these new bars that are just like, I never even heard of Dragon's Blood Orange or whatever. These little things. He's like, oh well, that's from Australia and it's really good for this and that and everything. And it's like, and they're all jiu-jitsu. Like the dad's a Gracie Baja black belt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Avi took a time off. He was a blue belt. I think he's a purple belt now. But like, You know, and and that's another thing. He did a collaboration with A&P too.
Did they?
Yeah, they had a bar with like the A&P stamped on it. It came with like, it was super sick.
sick.
Sold out quick as
sick.
usual. But like, just good people, just
Yeah.
connected. And that's another thing I love jiu-jitsu. It's like I've met so many good people in my life, you know, through beating each other up. Now we're friends, and all of a sudden you just meet this person I would never met in my life.
Yeah.
And I met him because somebody gave me a bar. And I was like, dude, I like this. And I messaged him, and I was like, hey, I'm out here in Long Beach for Worlds. And we met up at a acai place.
Yeah.
And we just,
Yeah.
bro love right there.
Do you feel like you made some of your best friends on the mats through martial arts, jiu-jitsu,
For sure,
fighting?
100%. Yeah, guys that are still, you know, to this day. I mean, even there's a weird connection with somebody that you religiously try to kill.
Yeah.
That you kind of have this weird, like, even though, like, I've probably never been to your house, never even met your mom, but I love you. You're my brother. You know what I mean? Like, half the guys at Elite where we try to break each other's faces off, like Lowen or Martin or Joe Bird or, like...
Lowen who?
Tyrannus.
Oh, okay.
Lowen. You've seen Lowen. Looks like a superhero. He
There's
fights for one
Lowen
FC.
I went to high school with, but it's not the same way.
No,
Yeah,
he's
fights
young.
in
He's
MMA,
like...
so-
Lowen's probably like 30, 32.
Oh, okay.
He fights for one. He's just a specimen.
Oh.
High-level wrestler, black belt, jiu-jitsu, incredible striking.
Oh, okay.
Just a specimen. Nicest guy. We were actually supposed to fight each other, too.
Really?
Yeah, so... remember Pro Elite at the Blaisdell? I think BJ Penn's brother was kind of like the main...
Oh, is it like a...
This was like
There's
2000...
Super Brawl. What was the other big one back then? Pro Elite came after those?
Pro Elite was...
Rumble in the Rock was the other one.
No, there was another one. Shoot. It was in between, but Pro Elite was like 2010. I want to say 2009,
Okay.
2012. And it was like JD Penn, I think. One of the brothers was like the main.
Okay.
I mean, my card was like Andre Arlovsky, like Kendall Grove fought on one of my cards. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but long story short, I was supposed to fight Ray Cooper.
Okay.
Shout out to that guy. Scariest freaking human. I love the guy to death.
Yeah.
We were supposed to fight on the first Pro Elite. Something happened. Day of the weigh-ins, fights off. And they're like, oh, but we got this guy Lowen. I'm like, and then my coach at the time was like, no. I've never said no to a fight. I was always like, sure, why not?
How old? He's like 20 years old or something?
I think he was like 20 at the time, and I'm like, I started late MMA. I was
Yeah.
like 27, 28. I was
Yeah,
old
yeah.
in the sense that just started going, but like I was winning fights.
Yeah.
I was like the Holly guy they threw into the local guy that I should have lost.
Yeah.
And I kept winning somehow. Like it didn't happen. And then they offered me low, and that was the only time my coach was like,
He
no.
knew about him.
He knew about him, and he was a savage, like
Yeah.
just a savage. So we started our amateur, and then nowadays we make a joke, and I'm like, we're fighting each other now, but I kind of wish I did fight, even though I know I would have lost. I can say on record, I know I would have just gotten destroyed,
Yeah.
but it at least would have had that cool connection.
Yeah, you guys did it.
Yeah,
Gladiators.
even
and
though
the-
we still do it every Wednesday.
Yeah, but like being in the arena.
Being in
is
the
a
arena
different
in front of like
experience,
my dad or my mom, and stepping out and weighing in, that would have been a cool experience.
How do you how nervous? Like, do you get really nervous? Do you get calm? Because I
Oh yeah.
when I did jiu-jitsu, when I competed in jiu-jitsu, my coach would get so frustrated. He was like, they call me Hawaii, right? They'd be like, Hawaii, I could blindfold you and you could destroy that guy. Like,
Yeah.
But I would just psych out in competition. I would just couldn't. I had anxiety, and the more I did it, the better I got. I started winning matches, and getting calm. But that, I don't know, the mental game of competing is huge, right? Like, there's guys who
100%.
destroy, and even MMA too, right? Guys who destroy in the
Yeah.
gym who just don't show up under the lights, yeah. And
Oh,
the
they're-
opposite, right? Like guys who just are game for the fight there.
That has been my biggest challenge later in my life is just the mental part. Like, if just I'm curious. I just want to know how you can switch on, I can't switch on, or vice versa, or whatever. Like, and just be ready to go and be present. Because I think that's the big thing is how guys win is just being present.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times I've been in fights or jiu-jitsu, I don't like my first Muay Thai fight. I don't remember anything.
Yeah.
Like, I remember crying, coming down the stairs, the walk out, like going through every emotion.
Literally crying?
Well, like I say, it's like every emotion. I was
Yeah.
happy, scared, crying, pissed off, scared again. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
you're like, and then this, and this is Kyle Foyle. And like you're walking down the ring. And it was at Pipeline Cafe.
Oh, Pipeline, UFC
walking,
gym.
yeah, like walking down and just like, what am I doing? Don't remember anything.
Yeah.
Won the fight, but don't remember anything.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And then the next fight, I could hear my coach, or I could, and then I think in the moment, like I had a jiu-jitsu match just last 2 weekends ago, a super fight, and I've been working on trying to be present. And that one, I don't know what I did, what was the magic sauce, but I was like, I could see my kid. I could, see the sweat on that guy's brow. I could see every little hair on him. Where sometimes you've been in a jiu-jitsu match, you don't know.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you're just looking at the clock and, God, there's only a minute left. Okay, cool. I can't wait to get out of this.
Grip forearms all day.
You're not present. You're just surviving.
Yeah.
So I think what I can tell is from the high-level guys I've been around, they're having fun. There's no pressure, and they're present.
Yeah.
Like, I was at a wedding one time, and I had John Florence and Jamie Mitchell on either side of me. Jamie Mitchell, 10-time Molokai Pal champion, Psycho Big Wave champion. John, everybody knows John Florence. And they were talking about the mental part. I was like a kid in a candy store. I was just like sitting there listening. And for what I got to it was for them to be on point, they started having fun. There was no like this heavy weight on their shoulders. And then it's like they just started having fun with it and they were present. And then what we were talking earlier, I asked Bruno Malafacini. I think he's like, 11-time world Jiu-Jitsu champion. Something crazy.
Yeah, something crazy.
11 times. I literally think
they bracket it so him and Kyle on opposite sides because they always know they're going to fight in the finals.
And so I asked him, because I was talking about my kid, he wasn't into jiu-jitsu at all. And he was like, just let him have fun. He's only 7 or 8, whatever at the time. And I was like, well, how do you know? And at that time, I was really having trouble mentally. I was losing fights that I should have won because I was better than that guy, talent-wise. Yeah. But I'd just go in there and just, I remember going to Worlds, being on the plane, spent money, my own money, being away from my family, and already thinking what the excuse I was going to tell people why I lost.
Oh.
Talk about self-sabotage. Oh. So, I was in such a bad mental place, and I just couldn't get out of it. So I asked Bruno, I was like, how do you do it? How do you become a 11-time world champion? He's like, and he said the same thing John guys was like, I have fun. I put all the work in. So when that day comes, he's like, I can tell when guys are going to lose. He's like, I can stand across from, and see the warm-up area, and I can tell that guy's going to lose. He's stressing. He's flexing, doing all this stuff. He's like, I'm having fun because I know I did the work. I'm confident in myself. And I'm like, you're still not really telling me how you flip that switch. Yeah. But the gist is like, you have fun and you just kind of just be present. If you can be present, I think you can be a world champion at that point because you're not like that. It's from my experience at least. Yeah. I think when you're present, you're like, okay, you're on. It's go time.
When I started doing better in the jiu-jitsu competitions, I would go out in the middle and I would just like kneel down. And it looked like I was praying. Well, I wasn't praying. I was just like breathing.
Right.
I was listening, listening to the person at the Asai thing, listening to that coach yelling, listening to the kid crying. And I was like, yeah. And sometimes the refs would be like, you ready? And I'd be like, give me one more second. And it was just to like get present. And then I could like listen to my coach or I could listen to this. I could see the other guy stressing and I could be like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And,
yeah.
But and boxing did that too, because if you don't, in striking, if you can't calm down, your heart rate's gonna just
you're done. You're gassing.
So that like fighting's for me, same thing. I think for everyone, it these principles. So now I might be like late for something, and something's gonna hit my car or something, so I gotta open it real quick, and I might go, okay, let me put the key in the door, and it's all from boxing and jiu-jitsu,
being calm, man. Like it's just anything. Somebody cuts you off, or your significant other is pissing you off, your kid. It's like, okay, is it really that big of a deal? No, it's not. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know. And enjoying the journey too. Like I think that's people get lost in the sauce on that one. Like I'm 40 years old. There should be no reason I don't have to prove anything. I shouldn't be doing a super fight on 6 days notice or, going out to Wyman or whatever. It's like, I don't really have to prove anybody else, but I'm enjoying the journey because I like that build-up. Like that jiu-jitsu match I had 2 weekends ago. It was like, got called, hey, you want to fight for the belt?
Who'd you fight against?
Spencer Weeks. He's, Gracie Kailua, Jason.
Yeah.
It was one of his guys.
Oh, okay.
I had no idea what the guy was. But it was like I was coming off a knee injury. I got I got elbowed in the lip. My lip was busted. I was just like, I had every excuse to go, I'm 40 years old. I got a job full time. I'm working over. And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah. I had to cut weight. So the nerves and the scared and cutting weight, I watch my kid eat Popeyes and I'm like, that sounds good. Like whatever. And then, the fight went my way, and it was a great fight. And, afterwards, it was kind of like, I knew from my experience, I'm like, I got to enjoy this journey.
Yeah.
I gotta enjoy this nerves, this cut, this weight, because that's living to my eyes. Because you can easily Monday through Friday go home or go to work, go home, kiss the wife, kiss the whatever, you know, you're significant other, put the kids, watch TV, go to sleep, back up again, do it again, do it again, do it again. And all of a sudden you're 70. Where like you have these little challenges of like whether it be you had a tennis match or I'm going to do the marathon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You need those things, and it's fun because I think it keeps you alive and it keeps you working on yourself.
Have you heard that saying, do hard things, life will be easy. Do easy things, life will be hard.
Yeah.
I told you my guy out there, Aiden. He looks small or whatever. He used to deadlift 500 something pounds.
Oh my God.
And Aiden, he was 50 pounds and programming towards a national record. His girlfriend holds some national records for their age and weight and stuff.
That's so crazy.
And he's gotten me back. Like I've been going back to the gym for a while, but in the last couple of months, he's got me like really into it. We've been going hard, and it sucks. Like the kind where like it just hurts and sucks, and I feel better than I felt in years. Because I'm back in that.
Yeah.
You know, like when I was in jiu-jitsu and young and no kids, and even after the first kid, I still had that often, right?
Yeah.
Like, but it's been a run of years of working and providing and chasing, you know, money and doing the whole thing that I haven't done that warrior thing. And only in the past few months I have, and I just feel so much better because of it.
You need to. I mean, it's like, I had that, silver lining and everything, and I don't want to ever say, but like COVID was that for me, even though it's the most horrible thing that ever happened in the world. Whatever it was, before that, I was teaching too much. Like I was chasing dollars.
Yeah.
Oh, you want a private? Oh, you want a private? Oh, yeah, I'll teach you a gym.
Yeah,
so I was just holding pads and teaching. Wasn't doing anything.
I remember seeing videos of you holding pads.
Yeah, I was just working. I was working, training online. So I was training at the Boar's Nest, doing it at my house private. It's like, it was just like nonstop to where, and then COVID happened, and it was like family time and stuff. And I was like, and I got introduced to Charles, and I got introduced to him beforehand, but I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. Getting back and doing me and sparring and being part of guys' fight camps, which is like super fun to me because kind of scratches that little itch.
Yeah.
And I literally stopped teaching, pretty much.
Yeah.
Stopped teaching Alliance, stopped teaching Boar's Nest, stopped doing all these things where like I used to do select privates to my like OG customers at my house, my little bear cave gym. And I'm so much happier for it because I'm taking care of like how you experienced last time, me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like making me happier.
You're better for your kids.
Better for my
life.
kids. Like my kids started jiu-jitsu, and like I'm going to his gym. He's we have a gym down the road that all his friends go to. So he's going there. It's a Helson Gracie black belt guy. So it's awesome. He's like, can you come with me? And I'm like, oh, I'm an Alliance guy. And I talk to the coach. He's like, no, please. Yeah. So I go every Tuesday where I could be being, and I'm helping him. And it's just, I'm not chasing a dollar.
That's cool.
Yeah. And I think that's, as we, you always try to be a better person. And I finally learned like money's not everything.
Yeah.
And I think I lost a couple of years just going, yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, so.
I want to get to some lifeguard stuff, but one more thing on that jiu-jitsu thing. I think it's revealing. It's revealing, like, I get to see you in your entirety when we fight or do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And then over a longer period of time, I learn about myself. Because if I go in there and I'm a white belt, I'm brand new, and she chokes me out, I either have to peel back a layer of ego or maybe take off a big chunk of ego.
Oh, yeah.
Or not come back. One or the other.
Yep.
And as you do that process over time, you're like refined. I think jiu-jitsu refines you in that way.
Oh, yeah. Molds you into a better human. That's why I said.
Better human, right?
Better human.
And when you ever seen Avatar where like the two tails connect and they like see each other? The blue.
I barely watched it. Yeah, pretty bad. Probably one of the only humans never watched the movie.
Well, there's this thing where like they're like these huge like 15-foot tall alien things, right? And they have their tails and they like connect their tails and they do this. And then it's like, I see you. So like, I can like see into your soul. You can see into mine.
Yeah.
When we do jiu-jitsu, I know if you're like a tricky guy, if you're an aggressive, if you're dominant, if you're well-rounded, if you're like a meathead, like you can see someone deep
personality.
when you fight with them.
Yeah,
you can't hide your personality.
No, you can re-roll somebody like, oh, this guy's a dick. I'm never rolling with this guy again. You know
like
what I mean?
in life though, he's a dick in life.
And you can see his. I know those guys. Like like I roll. Oh, you're super spastic. And then I meet, and then I see you after. Oh yeah, you're the same person.
Or you're tricky. It's like, oh, his whole game is based around baiting. Everything's baiting.
Yeah.
Tricky, sly person.
Yeah, so you kind of find your partners who are like, I like you on the mat and off the mat.
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
those other guys, like the tricky guy, you're like, yeah, I don't know. I don't trust you, really. You know what I mean? Off the mat, too. Like, oh, no, you're kind of fishy. You might be doing something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, it's very intimate.
Yeah.
You don't want to say that as far as a male. Like, no, it's super intimate.
No, but we need that, too. Like, that,
no.
Yeah.
We need that connection. It's definitely, it's an amazing. Yeah, like I said, I owe my life to it. It's given me everything. I still owe jiu-jitsu my life for it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Shout outs to AMP.
Yeah, man.
RV and the boys.
It's killing it.
How has it been since I don't know the guy's name, the guy who won the Eddie?
Luke Shepardson.
How's it been as a North Shore lifeguard since that? Because I feel like it was always cool to be a North Shore lifeguard. It still is, always will be.
Yeah.
But now you could like put it on a sticker or a shirt in a different way, and people are like, there's just a slight shift.
Oh, for sure. It definitely gave us publicity that we never had before. You know, I think our publicity was more local or like, coastal, like California guys, Australian guys, Brazil probably thought we were cool, Japan. Yeah. But it didn't go beyond that. But when Luke won, it was like in uniform, working there. It definitely opened up a lot of doors. And shout out to Luke. Like, I've known that kid. He's way younger than me, but I've known him forever. Yeah. And to see him grow up is pretty awesome. Like, I'm actually proud of that guy because he was kind of a punk. I can say that thing. He was kind of a punk. He was a North Shore boy, kind of a punk. And then he grew up, and, like, even before he won the Eddie, he was like, I could see him maturing as a man. He had 2 kids. He has a wife. He actually wanted to become a good lifeguard. There's a lot of guys who become lifeguards, and they're just doing it because, hey, I get to work the beach.
Right.
He
took the craft serious.
He took the craft to where, like, we had a case together. It was his first case. It was like a head injury, a pipe, blah, blah, blah. And I've had many, knock on wood. I've been the black cat where, like, I've had everything. I've had car accidents, drownings, children hurt, blah, blah, blah. So, like, I'm kind of used to it. I'm like a battled veteran in a sense, which I'm kind of happy. I'd hate to be going through my whole career. I've never had a C-spine. I'm never, and then freak out, you know what I mean? To where, like, okay, I can be calm. Once again, and I've said it before, martial arts and lifeguarding or being a first responder, very much the same. Because you have to be present just as you're trying to beat me up and elbow me or try to submit me. I have to be present.
Amongst chaos.
Amongst chaos. Yeah. Now, okay, you're at Pipeline. Say, okay, Dusty Payne, when he got hurt. Famous pro surfer, he got hurt at Pipe. Everybody's screaming around you. You got everybody, all the pros is, screaming. And you're trying to sit there and go, okay, he's cracked head, bleeding through the mouth. He starts seizing. Okay, hey, I need you to grab the AD. Hey, I'm going to head control. Okay, we're going to roll him. Okay, C-spine control. Put the backboard there. Can you get EMS rolling? You start doing these things where if you start freaking out, you're losing precious seconds. Somebody could get injured.
Yeah. So
if you're present, it's kind of like a SEAL team where, like, you got your job. I'm going to be, okay, I'm the head SEAL. We're doing this. Boom, boom. And it works like a cook line. Yeah. Perfectly. And it's the same thing if you're present. And Luke had this, going back to Luke, it was a friend of ours that got injured, and he was kind of rattled. And I went and talked to him. Hey, man, you did good. It's the first time. It'll get better. And then we had another case last winter where it was another friend of ours that got injured, and he was better with it. He was calm. Where, like, the first one he came in and was like, hey, he started screaming the guy's name. I was like, Luke, no, stop. We don't need this. Okay, can you help crowd control, move people back? And to see... I've been doing lifeguarding. Next March will be 19 years. So I see guys come in, which I don't feel like a veteran at all. I feel like I'm still the new guy. To see somebody actually listen to me and take my advice and go, okay, yeah, debrief, let me talk about it, and be better the next time is music to my ears. Because I got guys who are like, hey, you sucked on that rescue. I need you to do this then. They're like, yeah. You know what I mean?
You don't want to grow.
Yeah, where I give credit to Luke. He's grown as a human before the Eddie, and then when he won the Eddie, he kind of brought us along with him. Yeah. Where you win this prestigious event, you could have easily been like... Psh.
It's easy to be individual. I won.
He
was kind of like, we won, yeah.
We won. Like, he gave money back to junior guards. Like, when he got sponsorships from, like, companies were giving him money. Oh, here's $2,000 for the junior guard fund. Or here's this. And it was pretty cool. That's why I give mad credit to him, because I know some other guys I work with, it would have happened to them.
Yeah.
My show, you know what I mean?
It's easy. It's easy for the ego to flare up. You win the Eddie, bruh. Yeah. And if you're young, how old is that guy? Luke?
28, probably around there.
That's still super young,
so young
in terms of the ego
yeah,
and stuff.
maybe 20. Yeah, somewhere
He's
early to late 20s. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, young. Like I said, I wouldn't have even hated on him if he did go full selfish mode.
Yeah.
Because I'd have been like, I can see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I'm like a competent surfer. You know, grew up surfing barbers, and you know, I could surf, could cut back, hang, whatever, go pops or threes or, you know, stuff like that. Maybe surf bowls when it's not too big. I get scared at a certain point. And then there's the North Shore where we would go, you know, like I told you, I'd surf Ihukai and stuff.
Yeah.
But how, like, yeah, if Dusty gets hurt and you're rescuing him, like, that almost makes sense because, like, that's a part of your cohort. That's part of your crew. Like, that guy knows he's doing something dangerous. You know, you might have to show up. But then what about the person that like steps off the plane from Wisconsin and is like on the rocks at Sharks Cove when it's 25 feet out there? Where is it any different for you guys, like dealing with them? Because like when the Eddie happened and they were like, we're telling you, like I heard you guys like, hey, we're telling you guys, hold your stuff. It's not a good place to stand. I used to, like, I don't like seeing like the local crowd sometimes punking everybody.
Right.
But I see why it's necessary at Lake Pipe. Like, I see why a pecking order is needed for safety, etc. Yeah. And I almost wish, like, that time at the Eddy when people were getting swept away trying to hold up their bags and stuff, I almost wish some, like, local moke would have went over and be like, hey, move before I punch your face.
Right. Well, that was just a frenzy. That was like a Taylor Swift concert. Like, you know what I mean? It's just people checked out. It's local and... That's a different one. I think the pecking order should definitely come back at like Rockies and Pipe because it's like when I was coming up, it was like, okay, there's Claw, there's, you know, just, oh man, you are getting a punch because there was still this local presence. Yeah. Nowadays, it's like, it's a free-for-all where it's kind of slowly coming back. You know, there was like the Volcom House era, Brendan Diaz. That was like the early 2000s where it was like, you kind of need it because otherwise people just run right over you. I mean, there was one where I sort of paddled out. And I heard more foreign languages. I mean, nothing wrong with that, but I heard more foreign language than I heard English. Right. And there was no respect. There was just fucking people getting burned and stuff like that to where you kind of, I wish that old North Shore, Kaino McGee, Claude Alexander, kind of came back a little bit just to have that little bit of, because I'm not that guy, like, and I'm about to do it soon. Like, if this winter keeps going that way at Rockies, like, that's my home break. And I got this dorks, like COVID surfers. We call them COVID surfers now because in 2020, surfing was the only thing that you could do, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so you got these guys that started, bought their, brand new board off the rack at HIC and started surfing. Now they got 2 seasons underneath their belt.
I think they get them.
They got him, and they're going right to the main peak at Rockies where I'm like, dude, I've worked 20 plus years to get to the spot, you know what I mean? And it's like, you kind of have to have that balance of a little bit of fear, a little bit of order. Otherwise, it's like people get hurt.
How do you think my other agent and I were talking about that, and we were like, how do these people from the, and I was born on the mainland. I get, like, I understand. I'm not anti-tourist, anti-holiday. My whole mom's side is holiday. Like,
right.
None of that. But I just don't freaking get it when people like walk to Sandy's or Waimea, and it's like 4-foot short break, and then they like have like, a floaty on or something. Like, it's almost like looking at a lion and petting it in the wild or something. It's like, bro, that thing can kill you. Where's that disconnect? Well, and then they put you guys in danger. Not 4 feet short break, you can handle.
No, I mean, the more of the injuries I've ever gotten was 4-foot pipeline. Yeah. Not 8 to 10, 12 feet, 15 feet. That's actually, as you get bigger, there's less injuries. Yeah. It's always that smaller 6 to 8 foot range and below where guys are getting their heads split open or getting injuries or stuff like that because it's like, that's the most dangerous. Yeah. If you're talking about tourist, it's just a vacation mode. And I've heard that all around the world.
Oblivious. They're just.
I paid $5,000 to get here. I am on vacation. I've literally been told like I'm allowed to be here. I'm supposed to be here. I can do what I want. Like they have this mentality of like entitlement, and it's around the world. Like I mean, I've been in Muay Thai gyms in Thailand and had like high level like instructors come over and try to correct some guy, and he's just like, I can do what I want. What are you talking about? And it's like, so it's not just Hawaii. I think it's more in our face here as far as the water. But from my experience, it's more if it's a tourist, it's I paid money to get here. I'm going in the water. I'm not going to leave here. I paid this much money, took my 21 days off vacation to be here. I'm going in the water.
Yeah.
You know, I had some other guy that yesterday I was like boogie boarding Waimea shore breaks, just messing around. This guy and this chick were in the shore break, the GoPro, sunglasses on. And it was still solid 10 feet yesterday.
Bruh.
And like they were just getting blown away. And I was like, hey, you guys can't swim here. I'm a lifeguard. You know, I always identify myself because otherwise I look like, just who the hell
So
are you?
it's 10 feet outside, like.
Solid shore break, like solid 6 foot shore break on the inside. But
That's
they're like,
so scary.
they're like knee to thigh deep. But you know, you've been around. You slowly, they make steps in. They make steps in, and all of a sudden, like when I saw the chick get blown down, or you know, boobs came out and stuff like that. Like I walked over there, and I was like, hey, you know, there's no swimming today. It's very dangerous. You can see the signs. You know, I gave him the whole spiel, and of course he's like, well, what's that guy doing out there? And there was a guy body surfing.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I've seen that guy. He's kind of a kook, but he's been here every day. Like, that's different. That's not you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Just no swimming today.
But see, like, if you punk that guy and his wife and, like, if you're really rude to them, you might save their life.
Yes and no. So, here's
so?
their experience. No,
Because they go over the falls, break their neck. So
as a lifeguard, and this is strictly as a lifeguard, come over to view. As a bystander, do what you got to do. You know, it's not my fucking Guliana in a sense.
It's like 4 foot short break, and then they like have like, you know, a floaty on or something. Like it's almost like looking at a lion and petting it in the wild or something. It's like, bro, that thing can kill you. Where's that disconnect? Well, and then they put you guys in danger. Not 4 feet short break, you can handle.
No,
like,
I mean the more of the injuries I've ever gotten was 4 foot pipeline.
Yeah.
Not 8 to 10, 12 feet, 15 feet. That's actually as you get bigger, there's less injuries.
Yeah.
It's always that smaller 6 to 8 foot range and below where guys are getting their heads split open or getting injuries or stuff like that because it's like that's the most dangerous. But as a lifeguard, I've done both case studies.
Okay.
As far as how you approach lifeguard, and I try to instill this in the new guys, it's a lot of psychology. It's not just here's a tube, here's a fin, spot the rescue, do it. Our job is all about preventatives. It's not the old school days where like the generation from way before me was like sit in a chair, I'll watch this guy.
Yeah.
Okay, go get, you know, oh, okay, now I'll go get him. We try to prevent. So we really go down and go, hey, sir, where are you from? My name's Kyle. I'm a lifeguard here, whatever. You know, we try to approach you in a calm way because it's energy matches energy.
The ego flare
If
up.
I come to you, and like I said, you paid $5,000, you got the kids, you stay in Waikiki, you're paying this high rate, you got the kids in the car, you find parking in Waimea Bay, which you find, yeah, it's a nightmare.
You already won.
You already won if you found parking. You unload the chairs, the boogies, you get to Waimea, and, you know, it's 10 feet. And there's some young 19-year-old lifeguard guy that comes down shirtless and go, hey, sir, no swimming today, beach is closed. How I approach you can dictate how I can get you to leave the beach and not have a confrontation.
Yeah.
So, and I used to do this when I was younger. It was like kind of back to like a blue belt thinking you're a badass. Well, you know, a couple years in, I'm working Waimea, I'm the man. Hey, beat it. That was, you know, like beat it.
Yeah.
What are you going to, some 20-year-old kid, you're going to be like, fuck you, you know what I mean? And it's all of a sudden, the energy goes up and you're matching it to where like, it's a story I've told a million times. I remember Waimea, like closing out, dark. This freaking kid comes running with a boogie board. He's probably like 20, whatever, but he comes running the board, jumps in the water. We're like, you know, megaphone screaming at him, oh my God, like come out. And he's just going. This is like 20-foot Waimea at dark, pretty much. Our jet skis in Haleiwa, ready to close up, they launch. So now I got a partner that's driving from Haleiwa to Waimea in the dark and 20-foot surf to rescue this guy that's not listening to us. And
they launched right away?
Yeah, they were like right by the harbor right there.
Yeah.
That's where we
so
started.
You call, you're like, I got a guy.
Yeah, we got a guy going out. Like, oh my God, like, you know, so-and-so, I sent my partner out and go out, you know, and I'm screaming at him. We're going on ATV. We're trying to get him in. He gets halfway out, turns around, comes in, catches a wave, comes up the beach. I lost it. Like, okay, I'm getting in the fight. I'll probably get fired. I don't care. Like, I'm just, like, lost it. I, like, got him at the bathrooms, and I just screaming at him, calling his girlfriend every name. I wanted to fight him.
Yeah. And
there was this big local guy. I kept remembering him behind me. I'm like, I don't know what the...
Yeah.
You know, just I don't want to get sucker punched, but I was just like, let's go. Like, I don't care if I get fired. There's video, let's go. I'm so angry because you just like...
Endangered
all our lives. We all got families. We've had a long day at the beach. And he backs off. And I'm like, whatever. And that little guy ended up being cool. Like, gave me a hug. Like, right on, brother.
Yeah.
Guess what? I go to my car. Somebody took a key to it. Keyed along the whole car. I mean, deep. I still have it on my truck today.
Really?
Yeah. It's a reminder.
So he knew it was yours somehow.
Lifeguard parking.
Oh, yeah, lifeguard parking.
Luck of the draw, it was my car. There was 2 other cars, but he hit my car.
Yeah.
He must have known. I don't know. But he made it to the beach. Did it change anything as far as like me snapping on him? Didn't change anything. He was not going to fight me. Didn't change anything. Now my car. And I look at my truck every time. I'm still rocking my old truck. Why not? It's a Toyota. It's got a key. I'm like, and it made me from that point on when I approach somebody, even if my energy's low and you come in with a high energy of like, F you, kid.
Yeah.
Hey, you've been warned. And I go back to my tower and I walk, or back to my truck and I walk away.
Yeah.
Because I know I did my job. Because me going in there and telling you what to do, I know the result. I've done that test before. I know what the result is. Either something bad's going to happen, my car's going to get keyed, or you're going to fight me, or something, and it's not worth it. Like, even to the day when I've done rescues and I've warned the person, I've rescued them, I don't even say anything. Safe on the beach? Okay, cool. I walk away. Before, I used to be like...
You give them a lecture?
They're already embarrassed enough. So lifeguarding's a lot of psychological of how to approach somebody and talk to them and, like, hopefully get them to listen to you. And to go away, and not go away, but like go to a different beach, a safer spot, something else.
Yeah.
So because you can easily get that blue belt. Listen to me, this is my beach, beach, and it's like, no, it's not your beach, but.
I always wonder about that because I moved from the mainland, right?
Okay.
I was 9 years old when I started visiting, and I stayed when I was 12, and I just went to surf. I was a pretty good baseball player. Like, they invited me to play on this traveling team in Florida. But I moved here and I just went to surf. Ocean.
Yeah.
And gave up baseball. And my dad wouldn't let me go Sandy's. And then one day my uncle, who like pretty much graduated from Sandy's, dropped out of school. he took me and he's like, your dad will be okay if you're with me. And then I went and I felt it and I, graduated up. I started bodyboarding at the wall. Then I went to canoes and then, the whole day, just my whole life, right? Yeah. And so I was taught to fear the ocean. But then I would see these tourists, right? And I think of lifeguarding. So I've been that like howdy kook basically.
Yeah.
Who had to like learn,
Yeah.
And then I think about lifeguards at like a Sandy's, and I'm like, every single day of the year, pretty much, someone can break their neck. It's rarely just super small at Sandy's. Like, at least something where someone could go over the falls and break their neck.
Sandy's is nuts. And
literally multiple times a day, people pulling up in their Mustang convertible with their, mesh underwear, board shorts, and just going out. And I'm like, how do you just give up at a certain point? Like, I cannot lecture anybody else. Like, because I've put myself in bad situations too. Shore break mostly. There's that one in California, but another time was yokes, tore my shoulder at Sandy's, and then Waimea shore break. Those are the three. Yeah. Like, where I got really scared, and I'm like, man, maybe I wish some lifeguard would have punked me so I didn't go out,
Yeah, I mean, we all got to learn. It's just listening to it. Like, I started at Sandy's, like, I didn't come out and go straight North Shore. I, like, started in Hanama Bay, which, it's like reps. Bay. Yeah. And that's a great place to learn as a lifeguard. It don't matter if you're Luke Shepperson, a great surfer. It's like Dave Wassel, whatever. You're going to have to learn how to lifeguard. Being a good surfer doesn't mean jack nothing. With the spot rescues, how to do rescues, how to talk to people. Just because you surf good. I know a bunch of guys that surf good that were lifeguards and they were horrible lifeguards. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like working Sandy's was like just how we talk about getting back into weights. It's little reps. Just like jiu-jitsu, it's reps. And it's like Sandy's, you get multiple reps.
Every day.
All day. So you learn how to spot, it's awkward to kind of, unless you're really outgoing like a Kino McGee, to walk up to somebody with your fins and tube looking kind of dorky. Hey, sir, can I talk to you? And talk to them. You kind of get that little more confidence to when you do go to North Shore. Because North Shore is more, it's quiet. Biggest thing in the world. And we don't hold hands out there. I'm not going to sit there and have you tell you what to do. You need to know what you're going to do. And I need you to go to the rescue. I need to know you're going to back me up. They're going out to Keiki. It's the big leagues. And there's no holding hands. So, guys are like, I want to work North Shore. It's like, no, go work Sandy's, go work Makapu, go work Walls, go work Makaha, go work depots, deal with that whole side, deal with all those things because you learn how to deal with the crackheads underneath the tower, how to deal with the tourists, how to deal with short break, how to deal with the rescue board. Yeah, it's fun that way. And it's like, plus you get out of your comfort. Like, I'm a North Shore guy. I never been to worked Makapu or Sherwoods. I didn't even know where Sherwoods was. You know what I mean? I went to Sherwoods and I was there for months, you know, and it was kind of cool just to kind of be in that area.
Yeah.
It sucked to drive, but it was cool and I got to learn it. Now I'm friends with those guys.
Yeah.
You know, you get to meet other guys you don't ever going to see because they're a Makapu guy or whatever. So it's Sandy's is nuts. I give those guys credit.
Yeah.
I don't want to work there.
People like have spinal injuries like at least once a week.
I think it's like 3 times a week's the average.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I mean. You get your reps in.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
So you know how to brace a C-spine if you work Sandy's.
You know how to do that. You know how to talk to people, how to negotiate doing that while, okay, here's a set, 1, 2, 3, we're going to go under and hold. Yeah. And it's a lot of factors to it. I remember the first day I worked Sandy's, I worked the smaller tower. And I remember
What's the smaller tower?
There's like a big tower at the main peak.
When you drive
full point.
Drive in, full point.
Full
sorry,
point.
a bit down.
There's a little tiny one-man tower.
Oh,
and I remember working there, and I was like sweaty and red and holding my tube and just trying to talk to everybody. And one of the OG lifeguards there came up to me and was like, hey, and like kind of broke it down to me what to do. And it was like I learned. And you know what I mean? Where they, you know, when I came in, like, oh, you're a North Shore guy, you know, whatever. Oh, we'll send you up North Shore. Oh, I would have been lost. I would have been a disservice to those guys because I didn't know anything. And I don't want to be doing that at Pipeline.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The consequences are too huge.
How do you get to be in North Shore? Is there like a panel and you guys vote, or is there like a guy who's the gatekeeper? Or how's that work?
You kind of, you know, you put a request in. You call in to go, you know, hey, is there work today? You know, Sandy's D2, we call it, you know, that's the east side. Released me. Is there any work up here on North Shore? Okay, yeah. And then it's like out of the gate, you know, does he talk too much? Is he on his phone too much? Is he not doing rescues? Is he not doing, you know, it's like a hazy in the sense of like, is he doing all the signs? You're the new guy. You're doing the rescues. Some guy that's been in 20 years, he's making you do the rescues. You're doing the log sheet. You're doing all these things to where if you take the initiative and do all those things and listen and go sit there and do this, okay, we like this guy. We can work with him. If you come in all just
a job, or I get them.
You're out. And it's first impressions are everything, you know what I mean? And for being on the North Shore, that's huge.
Yeah.
You come in, we'll give you 1 or 2 days, but the second day you're the same. And we all talk. Oh, how's someone, you know, I'm a lieutenant now, so I see these guys come in and I hear it from the other guys like, oh, so-and-so sucks. Oh, we like so-and-so. He can be at Pipeline. Like I've seen guys come in, all of a sudden they're at Pipeline a lot. Because they're good. They're happy. They're doing the rescues. They're doing the signs. They're doing, you know, like.
Where's the like top 1 or 2 or 3 like most critical places to lifeguard? Is it Pipe because of the nature of Pipe, or is it like, no, you wouldn't think so, but Sunset, it's super heavy, and Val's Reef like sweeps, or like where are the most dangerous places?
God, I mean, that's a good question. They're all got their own
nuances.
Yeah, it's like, do you want to get leg kicked or do you want to get kicked in the head? It's like, because to be honest, Keiki is the scariest shore break in the world to me.
Yeah?
Yeah, because that place, you've been there, it doesn't, you know, like Waimea, you might get stuck in a current a little bit, but if you just stay in that white water and get blasted in, you're going to make it to shore. Keiki, you'll take one, you'll pop up and you're in the same spot.
Because is it the drop off? Because it drops so deep, it's like, it just churns?
During the summer, you can see it like goes and then stops. It goes down really deep. And so the way it just breaks, I don't know if it's the rocks or whatever, but it just keeps you in that vortex.
Yeah.
So you can't get out. Eukai, unless you're a Pupake or Rip, you're going to get pushed in eventually. You know what I mean? If you just stay there. Waimea, you're going to get pushed in unless you go way out, then you can at least swim out. Keiki is like.
Oh, it's interesting.
Yeah. And everywhere. I mean, Jocko's Rip at Chun's, that Rip sucks.
Lonnie's, is there a lifeguard stand out there?
There's a lifeguard there.
Well, Chun's is, but not around Jocko's side. There's no.
No, well, there's the Chun's and then the Lonnie's towers right there. Yeah. So every tower, I mean, Sunset, we're trying to bring a guy in when it's big.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? You're going to go to those camis when it's backwashing and huge and you're going to lose a guy? Or do you go into Sunset and hopefully you make it in and the Rip's going out? So the place that scares me the most is probably Keiki.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Especially big Keiki. That
and it's like a big beach with a lot of parking, so probably a lot of people end up there that just.
Well, I mean, I love him to death. Shout out to Clark Little. He
made
that place. Yeah, he made that before that place was nobody. Now it's like big flamingos and young people and Instagram and videos and stuff. Because all of a sudden you just see people down there. You go down there, it's a party.
Yeah.
You know, there's beer pong tables. There's just young people just wasted.
Yeah.
And we try to tell them stay up, but you're intoxicated. You got to pee. You're going to go down, and there's all these low-lying areas, and they just go straight down, and the set comes, and out you go.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, we just had a young kid die there maybe like 3 weeks ago. 21-year-old, drunk. Lifeguard went down as he came back. Always happens. Oh, the lifeguard left. It's like, you know, mom left. Went down, drowned.
Wow.
It's just, this place is scary. Where Pipeline, you kind of know, okay, they're going to hit their head. Some kind of injury that way. There might be some action at Pupukea. You know what I mean? But it's like...
And Pipeline's like a theater, right? So it's like people go and it's almost... They're like, okay, this is not where I fuck around and find out. You know?
Yeah, and plus everybody's looking for each other.
Yeah.
And like, so when somebody does get injury, it's almost too many people. Like when Mikey Red got hurt, I was on that one. It was like, I had to yell at people I know, pro surfer guys, get out.
Yeah.
Back off. Because everybody's trying to like get on and hold him up, and we're trying to get him on the jet ski, and boards are hitting people, and leashes are getting tangled. It's kind of funny. There was, not funny, I should take that back, sorry.
No,
a weird case study of like, I think it was Cole Christensen got hurt. And on the same day, somebody drowned at Rockies. Everybody was on Cole Christensen. Everybody, you know, like trying to help and get him, and you know, like the ski guys and all that stuff. This guy drowned at Rockies and nobody knew. Literally drowned. I think he had a heart attack. I don't think he, you know, like drowned, but he had a heart attack. And he literally floated all the way to Rocky Lefts and nobody noticed.
Wow.
So it's kind of this weird of like, Pipeline's not bad because everybody's kind of looking at each other. It's this big, like you said, big theater. So when something goes down, people on it.
Right.
Where Rockies is like you didn't notice a guy that's floating on the inside? No?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So Pipeline is nuts to work at, but it's kind of a little more controlled. Even YMS, controlled.
Right.
You got this bay. You work there long enough, you know where the rip goes. You know if you pass a certain point, you're going to have to swim out, come back around. Where Keiki is kind of like, oh my God. Or like Sunset, or like, you know, it's like, it's a bigger playing field and it's not controlled. Yeah. Like I like doing rescues at YMS. I know that sounds weird, but I'm comfortable.
Really?
I know what to expect. I know where the rips are. I know where I have to do. I can swim out. I have to. It's controlled chaos. Where if you go like, Aokai, there could be a sandbar. There could be a rip over there.
Yeah.
There could be a rip over there. I mean, it was like Valentine's Day maybe years ago. We were working all day. I think I had like 20-something rescues. Because there was just this little rips. And it was like a 3-foot day, and it was just rips, and people just chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's an interesting. It's never, like I said, 19 years later, I'm still like love my job because it's entertaining. It's just, what do we got today, folks?
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, shit, man. Let's wrap it up. I'm super happy. Thankful for your time.
No, thanks for having me.
We reconnected. I mean,
it's been a while.
I should have come check you out at Alliance or something before this, but
yeah, no worries.
Maybe to follow. If you want to like leave a message to Hawaii, whether it be as a lifeguard, as a father, as a fighter, what's something you would share or impart upon Hawaii?
For Hawaii, especially nowadays with all this gun violence, man, get your kids into martial art. Yeah. Make them confident young men, because these kids are making bad decisions. I mean, it's just everybody thinks they're a tough guy when you know they got a gun or a knife, and it's like just like how we started this conversation. I'll end it that way: is just get your kids into some martial art that's going to make them a confident, male or female, make them a confident human, because we need confident humans in this world. You know, that's the best way I can say it.
Get your kids in a gi.
Get your kids in a gi, no matter what. Yeah, UFC gym, Alliance, wherever. Just I don't care. Just get them in somewhere, just to build a better human.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on, Brad. Thank you.
No worries, brother. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, you too. Cool.